Hello, welcome back to my super intermittent No Man's Sky stream. This probably won't be a long stream, but every time I say that, it ends up a marathon. I had planned to stream yesterday, but we spent 9 hours at the emergency room instead, so that didn't happen. It's been a challenging week. For those of you who were online for the last stream, Brem ended up in the ER Saturday a week ago and ended up in the ICU for several nights. And he was released Wednesday evening. That, for those of you who've been following along, hey Chrysalis. Wednesday was the day that my broken tooth was pulled out and they cleared out the infection. So I was already not doing great on Wednesday, and then I had someone returned to me from hospital who needed care. So that was fun. Not. And he came home. He'd been having he'd been having side effects from one of the medications they gave him in the ICU. I'm just looking at what I've got left to do. So I need to finish that one so I can do that one. And then that one. And what we've got left in 5. Protoform skeleton. So we're nearly there. We've got very little left to do. All right, so we need to do the reptilian skeleton. So this sounds dumb, but he's had persistent hiccups since last Sunday night. When they started giving him the antacid, not the antacid, the steroids in the ICU. And unfortunately, it's given him the hiccups. They've persisted for about 6 and a bit days. How did the tooth extraction go? I think for the most part it's gone pretty well. I'm guessing it didn't go as well as we really would have hoped, because I was initially told to expect to have 2 to 3 days off work, and after I came out from the procedure, the doctor went to the receptionist and said issue a medical certificate for a week, and I was like, okay. I go back and see him at the end of the month, and we'll see how it's healed up. But I have been in substantial pain the first few days. Not too bad now, though I'm still getting sort of stuck in the socket. When I eat, I'm supposed to be trying to eat a normal diet. Yep. That's not going great. But we'll see how it all goes. I'm just orientating to where I am. I'm going to pop back to the station, check and see if there's any bones I need to pick up, swapsies, anything I should sell. But yes, so Brem was in distress last night and having trouble breathing, so we went back to the ER. Saturday night is not the bestest of times to go to the ER, she says, ironically. So So we spent 9 hours there. So we got to see, so end of daylight savings happened here last night. So we got to see 2 o'clock twice. Which was fab. I don't think there are any bones that I have enough of to trade. And they need to be the right type. It'd be good if you could search. I'm doing a reptile on a reptilian skull. Yeah. One of the reasons we were at the hospital for 9 hours was a whole bunch of systems rebooted at 3 a.m. when it went back to 2 a.m, which threw a whole bunch of stuff off. Which wasn't great. But we got to where we got to. Sorry, talking and doing things at the same time. Reptilian. I think I have some of those. Let's see how that goes. So we did the thing. He was prescribed a bunch of meds, which made me laugh because they were all meds that I already had, and most of them I had already given him. But we found that in addition to the ulcer that triggered the sorry, brain is broken. In addition to the ulcer that triggered his epiglottitis the previous week, he had it's the planet where I want to go. He had issues with away from the station so I can look around. We found that he had a hernia right next to his where the diaphragm, where the esophagus goes through the diaphragm. So that was part of why he was in so much pain. And what we don't know is did the hiccups cause the hernia, or did the hernia cause the hiccups? So he's got pain management now. He's got medication which will hopefully reduce the hiccups over time. The hiccups were caused by steroids that I gave him to reduce the inflammation from the ulcer. But we knew from previous experience that the steroids would give him the hiccups, but what seems to have happened is because he had them intravenously for several days in a row, that it's just taking longer to clear his system. So, where are the... Why am I not hitting anything? repairing it. There's where I was headed. So we've been having a bit of a rough trot in this house. So we're all exhausted because he's not really had a good night's sleep in days. He got some last night. But where are they? How far away are they? Are they in this system? I suspect not. Sorry, I'm trying to think and talk and fly around. But the ER last night, I don't know how much of it was related to daylight savings or just the fact that it was a Saturday. I'm not aware of any particular sporting events being on, but it was standing room only. There was no cubicles free in the ER itself to put him in a bed. So we were in the waiting room the entire time. Like we'd get taken back for someone to do obs and draw blood or whatever, and then they'd send us back to the waiting room, and they had us planted right in front of the clerk's office so they could monitor him because he was having breathing difficulties, but there was just no beds out the back. So it made for a interesting evening, and it was our first really cold night of the season. And of course the waiting room has people coming and going and coming and going, so it was freezing. And we didn't really have heavy enough coats there, which was more on us than anyone else, but let's pick somewhere to go. Let's go there. Let's go up a bit and then down. This was a water world, wasn't it?
Extreme night temperature detected.
So by the time we got home last night, we were both freezing and not feeling great. I have a feeling I'm going to find out I'm not on the right planet, but let's give this a go. Yeah, I think I've been here before. Yeah, I'm kind of of the opinion that we just need to stick to regular time, but I don't know. I was in a conversation with someone about this the other day. It's more the changing that causes the problem. Oh, it's a dinosaur.
Units received. Units received.
But if I'm a wee bit cynical slash out of it tonight, it's because I didn't get to bed till what my body was telling me was 6 a.m. this morning. And that does not work for me. I need sleep. But I wanted to come on and finish this, so we'll see how we go.
Units received. Units received.
It's like half a llama.
Technology recharge.
So fortunately I have another couple of days off work before I have to get back to the office, which is just as well because I don't think I would have been fit to go back tomorrow if I'd been asked to.
Weather update. Storm clearing. Units received.
And the cats are very, very confused. They're not entirely sure why Dad's been away and then came back and's been in bed for like the week before he went away and then ever since he got back again.
Units
And they don't really understand why we were out for so much of last night.
Units received.
They've been doing strange separation anxiety type behaviours. Where's the thing up there? I was raiding earlier this evening and I kept getting flap cats in the middle of boss combats, which, while I love them, it wasn't really helpful.
Units received.
And I'm not sure if Echo's finally given up after having been pushed off my lap so many times this evening, or whether she's biding her time to come back and give it another go. Because she was pretty persistent earlier. How's everyone's week been and the weekend gone? Did anyone do anything fab? All the eyes. So I want to disturb some eyes and blow some stuff up. How many things did we get? attract the attention of any sentinels. Was it a Hobby Lobby? So we've got lots of people scattered over lots of places in the people that follow. How's everyone feeling about the upcoming trade war? Well, I say upcoming, it started. I'm hoping no one here is. It's an imposter coconut. Okay. I'm hoping no one here's job or livelihood is at risk as a result of it. Well, Brem was invited to attend a conference in the US this week for SudokuCon, which we're kind of glad he didn't go because it would have been doubly scary if he'd had this hit while he was A, overseas, and B, in the US with the way the US health system works. A large chunk of why he didn't go was I wasn't comfortable going to the US at the minute, and given his complicated health conditions, we didn't feel comfortable him travelling without a companion, and we didn't have anyone to hand who could go with him. So swings and roundabouts. It's been an uncomfortable period of time, really. I can't remember if I need to build a base in order to set down the reptile thing. I've been hearing all sorts of interesting theories on why people think that Trump's doing this. And the one that sort of rings the truest at the moment is he just wants to show everyone that they have to bow to him. That he's breaking stuff just so that people will beg him to stop. He wants to feel powerful. Very much in line with that thing about he's a poor man's idea of a rich man, and he's a weak man's idea of a strong man. Well, we have a federal election coming up here in a month's time, and so just to confuse everyone, we have the Liberal National Party, Liberal with a capital L, who are our Conservatives, and the Labor Party, which are our theoretically left-wing party, but to be honest, they're pretty sort of middle right. To be honest, they haven't really been about workers' rights in quite a while. We've got a whole bunch of minor parties that are sort of not a super left-wing or not a super right-wing. Probably the biggest serious contender of a party as a third party would be the Greens. I mean, if you want to be strictly speaking honest, the Liberal National Party is actually a coalition of two parties. Neither of them are big enough to form government by themselves. The Nationals are supposedly sort of agriculture and farmers and stuff, but it's really more to do with resource management, so the mining sector more than farmers, even though they like to think of themselves as the farmers' party, all the cattle farms and stuff. And then the Libs are the ones that are sort of like the party of fiscal responsibility, and the Conservatives and stuff, but they're no different from the GOP really, in as much as they always do a worse job of managing the economy. They're big on privatising everything so that the private sector benefits from it. It's not really for the benefit of the population, it's for the benefit of the millionaires and billionaires. But they do it under the false premise of financial conservatism and benefiting the rural voters. So it's the same costume that the right wear in the US. And then the Labor Party, which were the party of the workers, if you went back sort of 50, more than 50, if you went back 60 to 80 years. But they haven't really been that in a long time. And these days, they're more sort of the party of small to medium business rather than big business. So they do have a few big business sponsors. And then the Greens, who are the other sort of larger party, though not big enough to, by any stretch of the imagination, to form government, are the sort of more socially aware party who are aligned with the sort of the immigrants and the lower classes, and environmental conservation and social welfare type stuff. There's another smaller party over here. I've got to check if they've got any candidates running this year. They get beat up pretty bad, but called the Reason Party, which is actually a rebranding. They used to be called the Sex Party. But they started out initially being about reform around sort of sex workers' rights and a few other sort of related topics. So, you know, women's reproductive rights and ensuring that we had proper sex education and access to contraception and all that sort of thing. And then they moved into sort of aged care and disability care and that sort of thing, which is about when they rebranded as Reason. And to be honest, of all the parties, they're probably the ones that we have the closest alignment on policy-wise, personally, but just most people either A, don't know who they are because they're very small, they don't run candidates in every electorate, and they don't have the money to do a lot of advertising. But in Australia, we have compulsory voting. So everyone has to vote. You get fined if you don't vote. We use preferential voting. And what that means is you can't waste your vote. It always ends up going to someone. So if your first preference doesn't work out, You you can nominate an alternative. Oh, that's not the way around I wanted to do that. Do I have any more flippers? Yep. Let's put the flippers on the front legs, and let's put something swingy on the back legs. Reptiles become birds. Let's change the torso. It'll do. An abomination. But it lets me complete
Technology recharge. Technology recharge.
We've had some ridiculous joke parties here. I mean, like, we have a party called, I think it's called the Pauline Hanson Party. I don't know, it's been called a few different things. One Nation, Pauline Hanson One Nation, which is kind of MAGA-like. It's all anti-immigration and racism and small-minded bigotry. We had one guy get in Victoria a few years ago in the state senate. Surprised everyone. For the motorists party, and he didn't expect to get in. He was on a minor party ticket, and I think he mostly ran. They were just trying to get some particular road laws reassessed, and he actually got in, which surprised everyone. But he did a really good job of actually reading policy documents and being responsible, and much to everybody's astonishment. Hermetic seal. Can I make a hermetic seal? Yes, I can. Why can I not interact with it? Alright, can't use it there apparently. I need a base to use it. So what's next? I need to party stock. So I presumably need a base to do that. Alright, let's build a base up here maybe. I don't do anything until I kill those freaking sentinels. What's going on? Where's my ship? Or can I just call it in? I wonder if he's got a portal. That might answer some of our problems. But yeah, so this lone independent from the motorist party got in. He did a really good job. So of course he didn't get in the following time because they made a point of. What's going on? Nothing's responding to me. Let's get back to the base up there and see if things will respond up there. apparently I need to destroy them before I can... get anything done. Hello, will you let me talk to you? Or am I not allowed to talk to you until I've dealt with the sentinels? Yeah. It's not letting me interact with anything. I wonder if I can port it off to another location. Or even just go into a building. Where's the base office? Funky. Alright, I do need to get back to my settlement at some point and see what's going on there. Where is the base office got to? Yeah, you guys tend to get some fairly interesting candidates and parties. I mean, I used to enjoy the Monty Python or the various comedy skits about the silly party and all that sort of stuff that was far more based in reality than you'd really like to admit. I don't interact with anything because it's not mine. Oh, baby, what you want? Bring them down to the ground. Nope. Where's my ship got to? Can I interact with my ship? Nope. Alright, I'm going to... What time is it? 21:41. Let's reload the autosave, which I haven't done before, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, but they're not in the atmosphere. Alright, so, expedition. I have to do that one next. Learn the nutrient processor, collect bones, make a soup. Yes, baby, what's wrong?
Weather update. Storm clearing.
Yes, I'm getting headbutts from you. Let's use this chart and see if it resets anything.
Extreme night temperature detected.
What? I'm getting a little pad of a kitten on my lap. Monk? What? You're not understanding why you're not getting attention. No, don't steal my mousing hand, please. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. It's super exciting. It's Echo. Avon is asleep on the back of one of the sofas in the living room. And Echo has been alternating between hiding, because there's been strangers in the house, and coming and telling me that I need to give her more love and attention. As is her wont. Where did the ruins get to? They're here, are they? Aha, that way, hiding behind the ship. Yes. That's Mum. I don't know if you can hear her purring. He is sitting right under the microphone. Back towards the crate we go. "42, that's obviously the one to go to." Hello, baby. You happy? Close enough. Alright, we have the third key. We'll go open the crate. So Echo is super skitty, but for whatever reason, the little baby has decided she's my friend. So every now and again, when she's decided she wants company, she comes and very assertively makes her claim for some lap time and cuddles. Avon spent a bit more time feral, I think, or was born feral. Wasn't socialised as well as an itty-bitty kitty as Echo was, because Echo was born in a household. Unfortunately, the family home was burnt down during the during the bushfires at the start of 2020. And the rest of the litter was killed, but she was initially born into a household with people around and was socialised quite young, but was traumatised. Would you stop nudging my mouse hand? Which has its own challenges, whereas Avon was a rescue who was, how many bones do I need? let's put those in. Oh. Yes. Okay, that's not going to work. Let's put some other bones in there. Yeah, could be. Oh, down the back of the computer she's gone. There needs to be a way to search. I've got a bunch of different rib cages. Let's bring those ones in. I did have to buy some little flip up covers for the power switch on the top of the computer because she kept jumping on it and turning it off. So that's a thing. How many bones do I need to do this?
Incoming storm.
I need to look this up and see what I need to add to it. But let's jump back in the ship while I look that up so I don't die. Alright, to make soup. Make soup, to make soup. Okay, this is where apparently I need to learn how to split stacks. Alright, so. Let's put the nutrient processor back down. I believe I had to make 2 of them. Bundle of berries. Feed a bone to iteration Kronos. You may prefer the bone cooked rather than raw. Summon the anomaly. Alright, so up into space we go.
Extreme night temperature detected.
They are quite clever, yes. Cunning as well. They are a critter that if they weren't as... Terry Pratchett described it really well. If they didn't have glamour because they're cute, we would absolutely
Technology recharge.
be far more sus about them than we are.
Technology recharge. Technology recharge.
I found a really good comic the other day that just had a cat slowly pushing a whole bunch of things off a shelf. With the whole, it was almost like the language from the Hobbit about Bilbo talking about putting on the ring. Why shouldn't? And I was in there looking at a thing on a ledge, going, why shouldn't? He's over there, isn't he? He's down around the corner here. But they are quite cunning. My first cat, so these are currently cats 4 and 5. My very, very first cat that I bought years ago, that I just bought from a pet shop, and she was you're a grumpy lad. So that was Coco. I bought her from a pet shop, and she was known as Coco Chanel because she was a very elegant little so grumpy. She was a Abyssinian tabby cross, silver tabby, and super affectionate. But she knew what the sound of the car alarm from one of my friends was, that whenever she heard it, she would go wait by the front door. Protoform skeleton. Do I have enough bones left to do it? That's the question. Probably go sell some stuff. Sell that. And probably those. And definitely that. And probably that. So let's see what we've got in the bags. By getting rid of some unnecessary stuff. And that will give us a much better chance of seeing what's going on. And she was very, very much a protector cat that would sit up on the windowsill and watch over me when I was sleeping at night, and then would go up and go to bed when I woke up in the morning. But she loved curling up under the blankets as well. In winter, she would curl up under me. She was a burrower. She scared me a couple of times where I'd wake up and she would be deep asleep, and I thought I must have smothered her in a sleep or something because she wasn't moving. And then she'd kind of yawn and stretch. And Vague mission, I believe you were chatting with Brim last night, so you've probably got most of the latest. Hi, Jafar. I don't know if I've spoken to you before or whether you've come by for the first time. So we spent last night back at the emergency room. We were there for 9 hours. It was a long night. Brim's okay. I think we would very much like for all of this to be done. I think he's doing better today. But he's a bit over all the not feeling well. Yeah, he's actually recording at the moment. He's hit a period where the hiccups have briefly stopped, so he's having a go at recording. We'll see how that works out for him. May have to go dig some more fossils, so I've got enough bits to build this thing. I was going to sell that. Bundle of hairy seeds. Define good. He seems to be breathing more freely today, for the most part. He's still in a fair bit of distress when the hiccups are bad, but he's having longer periods of them being not as bad, which at the moment is kind of the best you can hope for. Hope your dentist visit was better than mine. Yeah. Funny thing I worked out in the last week. So one of the reasons I didn't stream much last year was I've been having problems for years with losing my voice. last 12 to 18 months in particular have been quite bad at that. And I had an oral infection recently that we thought might have been a fungal infection, but we weren't 100% sure. And I stopped using my asthma inhaler preventer to try and help get that under control. And we've found that my voice has improved substantially since I've stopped using the asthma inhaler, and I've spoken to someone since and they've gone, yeah, it's actually a known side effect. Awesome. And then I've realised in the last week, one of the reasons I had to have the crowns done and how I broke the tooth that I had to have pulled was that I've been clenching my jaw a lot. And I realised that in the last fortnight, despite all the stress we've had with Brem being in the hospital, I haven't been clenching my jaw pretty much at all. So maybe, just maybe, that's a sign that maybe I should definitely find an alternative to the product I've been using and get a non-steroidal one, because I suspect in addition to tightening the vocal cords, it was inflaming and causing the jaw muscles to clench as well. So we're gonna talk to the doctor and look into non-steroid based alternatives for the asthma preventer. I've found that there's one alternative that they can prescribe. It's not commonly prescribed because it tends to be, it has a few potential side effects with some other conditions. So we'll see how it goes. But if it means that I can talk, which I have to do a fair bit for work, and I don't have to clench my jaw and get all my teeth recrowned, that would be awesome. Oh, made him happy. That's nice. Happy is good. Do I like the look of it is the question. Maybe. There's something behind there. I've lost track. So I think I need to change what meds I'm using to manage the asthma. And with winter coming up, it's kind of become urgent. I was a bit worried I'd have a asthma attack leaving the hospital at 5 a.m. this morning. Yeah, the tooth came out. I don't want to use the word cleanly because that doesn't really describe what happened, but they ended up having to break it up and pull all 4 roots out independently. That was fun. What do I need? Pure ferrite. I've got the stuff I need to do that. Question is, what fossils do I need? So let's do a scan around. Let's see if there are any fossils nearby. because this is the big problem I've had, is finding fossils. There's something over there. So they had to cut the jaw and they had to break up the tooth, but they pulled all the bits out and they scraped the infection out of the jaw. I have a follow-up at the end of the month and we find out what's going on with the cyst in the jaw that is along a little bit from where the infected tooth was. The thing that they were concerned might have been an abscess tested clear. So that is of lesser concern than we were initially worried about. But it'll be another thing that I've got to go back for annual scans to just keep an eye on it. I was laughing the other day. Brem went in for one of his scans and they were sort of like talking about they don't want to give him too much radiation around the head. And I was like, I've had multiple head x-rays, a CT scan, an MRI and an ultrasound this calendar year. Just for the head and neck. And how would we trust, except for with the baking? Alright, we need to build a protoform display. Let's see what bits we need. We need a skull. Let's use that one. We need a torso. We need upper limbs. Grasping forearms sound pretty good to me. Lower limbs. Swift legs, I reckon. He's a fast little mother. Let's give him a plated tailbone, given I cooked most of them. I reckon that is so we find that one. Now, I need to go back to future. I need to go back to the an overlay and sort out what I want to transfer, I believe. And probably sell a bunch of stuff. I've been doing a lot of soft food cooking for both Brem and myself this week. So I made spaghetti carbonara with chicken and spinach the other night from scratch. Turned out really well. Ate most of it. For a while, Brem was still in hospital. I made it up one night and was eating it while he was in hospital. And then he sort of ate a bunch of it when he got home. I made a brain is broken. What did I make? I made a chicken mornay last night, and it was going to be a chicken pie with a potato crust, but the amount that I made of the filling was a bit more than I trusted to stay in the dish that I had, so I ended up doing more of a shepherd's pie. And it worked out kind of well. That's probably going to feed us for most of the week, given how little most of us that we're both eating at the minute. But it was soft and had lots and lots of veggies in it. A vendor here that I can sell stuff. I never remember. Egg sequencer, appearance. These guys don't sell, do they? I do have a steak with lemon potatoes planned for tomorrow night. And it's a tip, sirloin tip. I've been holding doing it until we can both chew and swallow. That being the limiting factor. I can't remember if there's a vendor here. I'm gonna have to pop to a space station and then pop out and come back again. Need to pick up some Dutch carrots tomorrow. Yep, I think I need to pop to the space station, sell stuff, and then come back here. What else do I have going on? I don't think I can come back. Oh, maybe I can. Alright. It's a type of carrot, so they're traditionally they're sort of like a baby carrot that think I'm going to try and bring the emerald back if I can. I don't know if I want to bring the displays back or not.
Units received. Units received.
Do I want to keep all the bones?
Units received. Units received.
Make those easy enough.
Units received. Units received.
I don't know how many slots of stuff I get to bring with me.
Received.
No, I want to bring salvage data if I can.
Units received. Units received. Units received. Units received. Units received. Units received.
I think I'm going to sell all these random fossils because I will be able to dig them up again.
Units received. 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 Units received.
Alright, so we've got the display. Got the trophy, got the display. I can build new ones.
Units received.
I can build new ones.
Units received. Units received. Units received.
Trying to get this down to
Units
the bare minimum of what I'm going to want to take back with me.
received.
So that if I have to abandon anything, it's not too bad. Alright, let's see how we go. I have a nutrient processor.
Units received. Units received. Units received. Units received.
I think that's about as good as it's going to get. Alright. Let's see what we see. So Dutch carrots are usually... it doesn't have it there as an option. Alright, let's head out and port back to it. The anomaly awaits. And then we'll go hand this in. They usually still have the stems attached and all the sort of hair and sort of roots and things on them, and you scrub them and you tend to cook them more or less intact with the skins on. You will sort of like trim the stalks from them, but they're sort of baby carrots in that they're small carrots as opposed to what is typically sold as baby carrots, which is a leftover from processing where they have just the end of the carrot that they shape for baby carrots because they've wanted to use the larger segments further up the carrot when they've sort of done slices or sticks or something for bulk sale. But these are sort of genuinely a very small carrot, and you tend to serve them whole or just sliced down the middle. This is doing something very strange. I feel like I am falling through the floor on my ship. Let's try that again. Something has glitched. Was I too close to a planet when I summoned it in? What happened? Let's summon it in over there, maybe. So let's try that again. And hopefully this time it won't glitch. It's on that planet. That's my base. So if it's glitching like this, go to a new system. Okay. Alright. I will do that. I will go to a new system. Might as well. Where can we go? The dissonance system. This could be interesting. Maybe I shouldn't go into this one. Hopefully I won't get attacked as soon as I port in. Here's the one where I got caught last time. It is cursed. Nothing very simple.
Hostile ships deleted. Alert. Navigational data received.
Where's the entry to this ship? Move away from it a little bit so I can see. You back, baby? What do you want? On the underside. Or I was on the underside and it's on the top. Yeah. What? What's up, kitten? Yeah, Mum was upside down. She was under the ship. What's she doing? I have bread being made on my lap. We will take the reward, I reckon. But we'll see what he's got. We won't get to keep it. It's only B class. Better than what I've got, but there's no point in taking it because I don't get to keep it. Oh, let's take the little jalopy home. Alright, let's try that again. And hopefully we won't fall through the floor of the anomaly. That's looking better, isn't it? Pretty sure it is. I will double check. Yep. Alright, so items I want to take back with me, I put in this inventory. Is that how it works? Alright, so how do I put them in? Yeah, but I think it'll close the expedition. That's what I'm worried when I do the last steps. So I'm trying to put stuff in there so that I can collect it before I close it, if that makes sense. I don't know. This is the first time I've done that. All right. Sentinels are raised. All right, I'm back on my main save. Don't know where I am, but I'll go out and look. Did I get any credit for all the pirates I killed while I was out there? Nope, I didn't. Alright, that's fine. Let's see what I've got in my inventory. All the things. What are you doing back there, little one? I really wish it would rationalise between systems, storage units. I think I still have to go collect stuff from the thing. What have I got in the starship? Got way too many of these. Well, I've got no room for anything. What are you doing down there? Do I have any dirty bronze here? Yes, I do. So let's put the 20 stack of dirty bronze in there, and let's put the 18 stack there to sell. I'll sell some stuff, that'll get me some cash, money. But first, let's see if we can claim stuff back out of storage over here. This is all new stuff I have not done before. Go and click here. And let's swap the dock ship. Alright. I think the funky one I found while I was out and about I didn't get to keep. Alrighty, so what do you have that I want to claim?
Collectible received.
Looks pretty cool. But I need to upgrade it before I can do anything with it. Yeah, how much do I have? I have 1,000. Ooh. It is tempting to take that. Kind of like that, to be honest. My understanding is the figurines actually affect the performance of your ship. Someone did an analysis of it somewhere, but I don't know what they are. Have I met Celine? Yes, I have. The Sultans of Ping. For those of us who were old enough to remember when the Sultans of Swing came out. Saving up some of these things, I think. That's cool. They look funky. Got milk? Hey, Chip. I'm just exploring what's here. Cafe 42. And it's got a whale, cup of coffee. What else is in there? The rock, but I don't understand the significance of the rock. Or good vibes. Like, I'm assuming the cup of coffee relates to the cafe, but what they really needed was a bowl of petunias if they've got a whale. Pretty sure I've seen some of those. Title, Langley. Alright. What are we next? Minor repairs. Well, I think first things first, the fact that I need to sell some stuff and get some stuff out of my bags. Oh, I'm turning an egg. Need to put that in an egg sequencer. Then I need to go to a station and sell some stuff. And then I need to go check out how the rest of my bibs and bobs are doing. Now, someone earlier today actually sent me a link for what nutrients do what to the eggs. So let's see. There's Vamp got 2, there's Vamp got 2. So what's the colourway that we want? Who knows? Let's see what we get. If I give it gold, what happens if I give it gold? They all seem to be unstable. So what happens when we hatch the egg? That is enormous. Let's go with the atmosphere sampler on that side, and let's go with the vial looks funky. Give it another pat, make it happy. Give it another treat. Oh, you can have attention. Does that make you happy? That is way too large. Let's go sell some stuff out of my bags. And then do a quick loop around the place to find where assuming that there is somewhere to sell here, given it's a pirate system. That's more nanites than I've got. Oh no, I can do it. So it currently has $26 slots. That one is an upgraded slot. And that one's an upgraded slot. Alright. So. So what's the best weapon? Is my question. Yeah, the mining beam is in one. With the optical drill. Okay, so, because so we think the pulse splitter is the best one. Hey, Eric. $200 deuterium. I need to get some deuterium, and I can't remember if I've got any on my freighter. wonder how I get deuterium. Deuterium, dihydrogen and tritium, dihydrogen and silicon powder. So is the geology cannon the thing that allows me to do terrain manipulation? So have they got any A-class scanner upgrades? That's the terrain manipulator. Alright, so I will take that out. And I'm tempted to take the bolt caster out. Though I do need to finish repairing the pulse splitter. Do I have any other pulse splitter components? Starship, 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 starship. No, that's an overload. Alright, that gets sold. I'll sell those two, I think. What other upgrade modules did I have here? Cargo bulkhead. I think I need to use those on the freighter. Alrighty, we need to bop along. I need to get some tools that I needed. I needed tritium and dry hydrogen. Do I have those? I have one dihydrogen. That's not dihydrogen. That's dihydrogen. I have plenty of it. And I have plenty of tritium. So I need to go to my capital ship. I have some refiners here somewhere. We'll collect all your stuff in a minute, dudes. Don't get impatient. I need dihydrogen. And I need tritium. I need 200 of those. So all that's running. Let's do one of those. And expedition. How are we going? I think I need to sell some of these Bikini artifacts. Alright, multi-tool. We have pulse splitter should now be working. So, do those sentinel upgrades work on all weapons? Because the blue outline only matches the bolt cast. Terrain manipulator. No, I've got a damaged ship. Alright, so let's go repair our damaged ships. Then we'll bop down to... We'll send those out. Then we'll bop down to my settlement. See what my settlement is doing. Not sure if Brem will jump in to say hi or not. I think he's finished recording for the evening.
Technology prepared.
But I could be wrong. He wandered through a little while ago and grabbed some chocolate. Good question. Compared to some of the previous ones, I found it really disjointed, but I sort of like had a really disjointed experience doing it because of real life things. I wouldn't normally have had a week between sessions. So like I had a week between session 3 and 4 and a week between 4 and 5. I would normally have done it a bit more coherently. And that's on me. That was totally... we had many crises going on in our house during that time. How do I get out of here? So it could have gone smoother for sure, for sure. I enjoyed the relic hunting, but I found it overall a little less coherent than perhaps some of the previous expeditions, if that makes any sense. Yes, I finished the expedition. We got there. It was a little all over the place. I was just asked how I found it, and I was just saying that I found it a little less coherent than some of its predecessors. I thought I had some more emerald that I brought back with me. There was some cadmium there. Try and match categories. Sorry, the inventory system needs work so that I can do better comparisons. Apparently I need to go collect some more condensed carbon because I'm now out of it. Never underestimate Brem's ability to be punny unintentionally. So that'll be nice. And I just realised I was hanging on to these other ones until I decided which ship I wanted to upgrade. Because I may decide to upgrade a different one than the one I'm currently flying. Like the organic one, for example. And I don't have any upgrade modules to spend. I need to upgrade my warp drive. So that's probably the next one. I need 4 salvage frigate modules. Way out of So, Bram, have you painted your freighter orange? Thought you might have. Alright, I have repaired the ships, so let's send them on, dispatch them on some stuff. Few potential expeditions. Exploration, an industrial, a combat, and a trade. No, let's not do that one. Let's assign everything that's left to that. It's just no point giving them a combat mission if I don't have any combat ships left. Alright, so them's all done. Let's go see what my settlement's doing. Let's what's the settlement up to? I'm sure I've got stuff I have to install in it. Our body clocks are all messed up because we've just gone from it being 11 o'clock to it being midnight, but we didn't get home until 5 o'clock yesterday, so as in 5 a.m. Which felt like 6 a.m. So everything's a wee bit messed up right now. Okay, I'm not planning to be... Woohoo! Gosh, there's sentinels out there. Where are they? Don't be in the way. There was another one over here. Over here. Pick it up. Take it home. That's going to help with the happiness. Okay, so I was building something and I can't remember what it was. Ah, it's over there. What do they need? Two quantum computers. Supply materials. 2 hours. Alrighty, let's go get some nanites. And then we'll work out what we're doing quest-wise. So I think it'll be collect some nanites and probably log off for the evening. Because it is getting late. I don't know how that would work. I don't know if they are in a holding pattern when you're offline. It doesn't seem to do substantial damage when I'm off, but I have no way of checking. Has it forgotten everything again? More cadmium. Alright, let's go down. Okay, that's where I need to sort some stuff. Alright. I'll get off planet before I get blown away. Looks like it forgets what you've discovered if you haven't been on it in a little bit. So I haven't been around for a bit here. Just collect all the herded mould. I'm going to run out of storage. So we've had our first genuinely cold night last night. How's the weather everywhere else? I mean, it's been pretty late in the year to have a first cold night, to be honest. It's usually had a few well before this time of year. Not seeing any hostile animals. Spring has sprung. The sun is risen. I wonder where them birdies is. I got to quote the Wurzels at someone the other day, for those of us who are a bit on the older side. The old, I'm not a pheasant plucker, but I'm a pheasant plucker's son, and I'm sitting plucking pheasants till the pheasant plucker comes. Yes, I'm getting tired because I am starting to make silly mistakes about where things go. That is now full. What do I have double stacks on here? Oh, there's some more hot ice out here. Bit there to process. Where's the emerald gone to? Alright, let's go to... I've got emerald. Okay. You won't let me use it yet. Won't let me use it yet. Alright. Oh, that's not what I thought it was. That is... there. Just getting some space back while I'm doing some processing of the nanites in the background. They've supposedly fixed the nutrient processor on the ship so you can access the ingredient storage now from here. Horrifying mush. Okay. Wonder how you get more access for here. More storage for there. Ah, interesting. So if I put the knit cards in, what does it produce? Unavailable. Okay. Let's consolidate those down. I'm as much a hoarder in this as I am in real life. Aha. Oh, I got some processed meat. What happens to it now? We don't know yet. Alright, we'll put that there. What else can we put in this thing? What will we get? What's going on with my nanites? Have they finished processing yet? Not quite. Let's claim some though. Now we got rationalise this down. Put some mealworms. So where have I been? They've got ancient bones. Away from the latest I've been to more purple planets because they've been in the That's okay, Chris. You go do what you need to do. I should really be heading off to bed soon too, given it's midnight. But I'm just kind of orientating about where I've been and what I've done. And I was going to go somewhere where I could collect probably some ancient bones. I might come back here and see what is here. That's a very blue-green planet. I don't know very many recipes. Oh, funny bit of wind. So we had a bunch of fun the other day. Those of you who've been around for a bit would know that back in September we had the awnings on the back of our house ripped off in the wind, which was not fun. And we got them repaired, and then they came apart again in late October, and we got a quote to have them replaced and paid a deposit, and we missed the cut-off to have it done by Christmas, so we just kind of sucked it up and waited for it to get done. And they came out on Friday to install them, and one window is slightly wider than the other, and the wider one is also taller. And they made the canvas the wrong way round. So the taller, wider one is for the home theatre, and we're looking for an opaque finish there. And the narrower, shorter one was for my home office, which was supposed to have the ability to look out. So that I had a bit of a view out the backyard as to what was going on. And they made the home office sized one the opaque one, and the home theatre one the translucent one, which did not really work for us all that well. So that was a bit annoying and suboptimal. Frost crystals, I thought I had frost crystals here. So here's hoping I've lost stuff before when I'm kind of killing time to get the nanites all processed. How long does that one need left? 20 seconds. Alright, let's see how long this one's got to go. "25 seconds. Because I've lost mould. So they took them down again, and they the plan is that they are going to remake them again. But I don't have an ETA, so on my list of things to do tomorrow is to call the office and go, any chance of an update of when we should expect to see that? Because this is just getting to the point of annoying. I certainly don't want to go through another summer without them, because it got very, very warm without them. So is this still not saying... Oh no, there's the other stuff that's in the thingo store. Hold a minute, let's pop that there. Do we get the same pickled fish? No. We might have to sell some of these. But at least it gets us the recipes. And clears up some space. Yep, I got a duplicate fish fry. Yeah, I'm not thrilled. I mean, they've accepted fault, which I wasn't 100% certain they were going to do because I went back and double checked the paperwork and it's backwards on the paperwork too. But we spoke to the salesperson and he remembered the conversation when we talked about the different fabric options to have the opaque fabric on the home theatre, and it actually lists the rooms on the order form, so it's fairly obvious that you would have the opaque one on the home theatre and the non-opaque one on the study. So hopefully that'll all get sorted out, because it is annoying. Just was really looking forward to getting it resolved, because it's been dragging on. Edible chum. I wonder if you use that for bait. Or fish fry. What did Hadrill Cause turn into? Don't know that recipe yet. Don't know that recipe yet. Don't know that recipe yet. Processor setting, incinerate flesh. Oh, visitor has arrived at my settlement. That can cook. Let's go check out the visitor, see what the visitor has to say. Am I going to get attacked again? Trying to look busy. Population's gone up. So that we asked whether they were going to leave them up while they remade the canvas, and the answer was no. But the sort of pro, for want of a better description, was that we still haven't had to pay the balance on it because it's not finished and complete yet. Which makes me oh so thrilled. Ooh, we can get cream. So that unlocks a few new recipes for us. I wonder if that's how we get to ice cream.
Inventory full.
Purge by fire. By fire be purged. That's a good line from Molten Core. For those of us who played Warcraft back then. What's wrong, Mr. Sir? Why are you scared of the ship's AI? I mean, like, I understand why AI is scary. Seem to have cooked all the fish. Hmm. 6 out of 10 is okay. Cursed, I would have said, was better from a story point of view. It seemed to have more coherent story. This was more just go play with a thing. I know that the 2 Redux ones were more abbreviated than their original version, though my understanding is all the story beats were hit. And as I said, like it felt fairly disjointed, but that could have been largely because of real life stuff that was affecting my ability to participate in it. I didn't feel it was as strong as the Cursed. It felt a bit all over the place. I mean, it unlocked some fun stuff, but it also had quite a few annoying planets along the way that felt a bit pointless. I think pretty much every planet I went to in Cursed had meaning and significance. And look, I know I sort of wander off and chase digital squirrels, so that also affects how coherent it feels, how distracted I got. But Cursed, I had a greater sense of urgency completing it, if that makes any sense. Like the story felt more like I had a reason for pursuing it, which I didn't feel as much with with this one. It's a bit hard to explain. I might pop over to the station and hand the dude some food and see, oh, go to the exo. Not the exo, blah, blah, blah. Go to the Nexus and hand some food over and see what happens. So, yes and no. I use an add-on. Hey, Bam. In Warcraft, I use an add-on called Arc Inventory, and it allows you to create virtual bags using rules that you program. So, for example, I have it set up to put all the consumables I use for raid in a particular virtual bag so that I can always find them. I have a virtual bag set up for stuff that's used as a raid leader as opposed to my personal consumables. I have bags set up for any pet related consumables. another bag set up for drops of mounts and pets. I have one set up for bind on equip stuff that I can sell. I have one set up for warband stuff. The different virtual bags you set up apply to all the different inventory systems you have. So the same organisation is applied to my personal bags across all my characters. It also applies to my bank and how it displays guild bank. So things like all the different professions have their own virtual bags for, they call them bags or containers. It depends on, you originally, you had your backpack and then you got a bunch of bags that you looted over the course of time that got upgraded, and they call those bags. And then early on hunters had quivers, and there were specific bags related to stuff like warlocks had a soulstone bag that you could just put soulstones in, and the professions all had specific profession bags. Alright, you didn't like that one. He liked the edible chum. Okay. We got approval from him. So things like all my inscription stuff would go into a particular bag, and you had a particular bag for all the herbs. Yeah, you didn't like that one nearly as much. Snob. I don't know why I'm doing this. Have a snail fillet. Oh, I liked that one. Okay. What happens if I donate stuff to the market? They're what he's looking for. So they're recipes I don't know yet. Okay, I'll feed him all the first ribs. When he lets me again. Blandness, utter blandness. I'll give you blandness. You liked that one. Does what he likes change over time too, or does it vary by system? That's not usually the accusation I get. I don't know. It's been a long time since anyone's accused me of doing bland food. I mean, I tend not to. Yeah, the lemon potatoes. You missed the potato. I'm supposed to be doing steak with lemon potatoes tomorrow night, but it's an entirely different lemon potato recipe to try. I don't do super spicy food because I have ulcers and a whole bunch of other crap going on with my digestive system. And now that Brem has an ulcer in his esophagus and a hernia around his diaphragm, he's probably not eating super spicy food for a while either. But I tend to do a fair bit of sort of Mediterranean or sort of not exactly French. I don't use enough butter really for it to be French food, but stomach ulcers primarily, but I have had mouth ulcers recently, which is why I'm looking to change my acid medication. I'm mostly doing this for out bag slots. I don't want to give him the carbon nanotubes. Yeah. You can be a snob like that. When are they due back? They're going to be away for Easter, aren't they? Trying to think if I should get hot cross buns for poker for Easter Saturday. Okay. Yeah. The whole ulcer thing is reminds me I need to double check that I have sorted the hotel and I've put in a leave application for Bordercon. It is indeed a slow and tedious process, but while I'm doing this, I am making lots and lots of nanites on my ship. I have a whole bunch of admin to do this week. I've got to sort out all the time I took off for Brem. I need to check with him if he needs me to go with him. He's got to follow up with the specialist about the epiglottitis at the start of May. At the end of the processed meat. Yeah, there's still more meat. The most average. Does his tastes change from day to day? I'm sure I'd be able to process meat by now. Oh, it's processed meat. It's not the thing it was before. Oh, he liked that one. 70. Decent. Oh. The most average. Well, it gave me 50. You, sir, are a snob. Oh, I didn't mean to give him creature pellets. I'm getting tired, giving him stuff that isn't food. I thought I'd fed him all the purged ribs. Oh no, yes. Oh no. Where's the carbon nanotubes? So it's There's the creature pellets. And it keeps offering them to him. They're in the ship, I think. No, they're not on my person. You, sir, are a snob. Did I do something wrong there? The right click exits out, it's left click. 112. I impressed him. That doesn't happen. That's all the purged ribs. I think I'm going to go do the last of the peeled claws, and then I'm going to go and look and see. I can't remember if the last expedition unlocked any new appearances that I want to have a look at before I go back to my ship and claim the nanites that are processed. And if I end up playing it all tomorrow night, I will do some more missions. But the other possibility for tomorrow night is we are now in April, and I have picked the game I'm going to try for April. I don't know that I will finish it. I think it's a bit of a longer game. But we will see how it goes. It's not super long, but it's longer than some of the ones I've played recently. So we've unlocked a couple of new recipes. So, did we unlock any new... I hope it's not like that either. I was quite disappointed with the Cat Detective. Oh, I've unlocked Traveller now. So what have we unlocked? Got Scorching Tail, Trail, Eastern Trail, Jetpack Style, got Living Stone, got the Aquarius Flight, got like the Jetpack, Flying Cape, Geometric coat, surveyor's coat. The anomaly character, is that the one I haven't unlocked yet? Or the traveller one? Oh, no, hang on, you mean that one. I like my little funky deck though. Yeah, that one's kind of nice. Yes, I'm all colour coordinated. What happened there? Fed. So do I want that bathyscope fed? That one looks like it's what's the DJ's name? The big mouser? Mouse cat? No. Rat cat? No. There's a DJ that has a big plastic mouse head. No. Tempted to grab that. Dead mouse is who I'm thinking of. Yes, dead mouse. Just needs bigger ears. I like the bathysphere, but I don't know which other ones go with it. You don't really get to colour customise it, do you? It's just the light that's coming out from it. Use number 28 for the helmet, which is number 28. Oh, the boundary horror. I don't really like the boundary horror. I don't want to be an ithalid. I'll stick with the bathysphere for now. I will probably go back and change it back to the Gek later. So I kind of like the little Gek. But I think at this point I'm going to pop back to my freighter, grab the nanites that are processing, and then save and log off, because it is way late and at some point I need to get my sleep cycle back to something approaching where is my radar gone? Checking that it's stacked them in appropriately. probably sell those. Polished stone. Do I have any more polished stone there? Yep, I've gotten rid of it all. Yes, that's pretty much what time it is in Melbourne too. Oh. And I need to go do that at some point. Belle is not pulling an all-night stream. Belle is going to go hit the save button and is going to go get some sleep. Because Belle is very, very broken. Thought I put a save beacon in here somewhere. They went back last night. I need to make some metal plating. Is that the best place to put it? Possibly. In that intersection there. Where's a better spot to put it? I'm guessing I can only build Thank you. We'll do our best to look after ourselves because I think that's definitely something that's needed at the moment. We really need some sleep and recovery. Ah, that's not what I meant to do. That one. That's how tired I am. I'm pushing the wrong buttons. Thanks everyone who dropped by. I really appreciate it. If you want to come by again, please subscribe because it does send out an email or a notification, depending on how you get your thing set up when I'm streaming. I am thinking of doing my April game tomorrow, depending on how the day goes. We have a bunch of doctor's appointments. I'm just looking where it went. I am thinking of doing Brass Heart, which just came out last week. It is, let me find the description. An adventure game set in an alternate 1920s, inspired by diesel punk and classics of the genre. It's a Polish game, but it is in English. And it's sort of a point and click adventure game. I don't know how long it is, but the basic rule I have for the stream is that I will do a minimum of 2 hours of the game and make a decision whether I will play it through after the 2 hours. But the goal is to give them all a decent go. Oh, it's got a flying pig. That looks interesting. Came out on the 5th of April, so it is brand spanking new. So I am likely to be having to work it out all by myself because there's probably not going to be a guide available for it yet if I get stuck. But we'll give that a go tomorrow, maybe, assuming I'm not too broken. And thanks for everyone who dropped by. Catch you later.